Hi people, me again of course, as always and as usual, Marino Ravenberg. Now, I'm briefly going to discuss an angel that I was going to summon that I had my sights set on summoning for a week or two now, but I kept putting it off for some reason because generally speaking it wasn't all too important for me in the sense that I didn't enjoy priority. Obviously no offense meant to him, but I finally got around to doing so. My focus was to summon an angel because usually I primarily cover spirits that have benevolent properties or virtues to them, or just overall virtue. And rarely do I cover spirits that deal with negative forces, negative yet necessary forces in this world. I mean, I have, but only on rare occasion. But I specifically wanted to see the angel that rules or deals over, excluding the archangels and whatnot, and the head angels, because they obviously rule over that as well. Like Lord Zapkiel with the P that rules over Saturn can also rule over corruption. Does also rule over corruption. But I wanted to see the angel that deals with corruption exactly the way that I define it and intend based on my intentions. By definition, that deals with corruption in a more direct manner, as in a more down to earth manner. The angel essentially that is responsible for the corruption you see throughout the history of mankind, and not just man, but applicable to pretty much all creatures, but primarily focusing on man. Again, what we in human beings as society define, um, how we in society as human beings define corruption at the core, as in political corruption, um, commercial corruption, corporate corruption, you name it. Okay. Now, anyways, yeah, I got around to summoning him. His name is Aampi. Give me a second. Yeah, his name is Aampi or Ampadu, or Aampi or Ampadu. Name is AAMPI. He prefers the former, so AAMPI. So henceforth, I'll be referring to him as Aampi. Now, Aampi, in terms of properties, he deals just with that. He deals with everything exactly the way I said, that he is responsible for the corruption you see. For example, the government of a country being corrupt and whatnot throughout history. Corruption in a corporate sense, corruption down to the very core, down to individualistic levels. Okay, when someone displays undesirable behavior, they get taken in by things such as by negative aspects or faculties such as greed, such as egotism, selfishness, you name it, and they carry out negative consequences as a result. Um, in a manner of speaking, embezzlement and things that can be considered a crime or that are considered a crime outright can also be seen as corruption. Okay, again, corruption by the very definition. Okay, the way that we as human beings define corruption, and also applicable to a lesser extent to animals and again all creatures. Okay, truly is like the angel of corruption. Now, in terms of appearance, he appears as an angel with black eyes, wearing a white robe with um, with with a black belt, essentially, not a belt, a sash, a black sash, and of course, black is his main theme, other than the whiteness of the robe, the overall whiteness of the robe. His wings are black. Wings have eyes as well, and the kind of black is a shadowy black, as in imagine being enveloped by imagine being enveloped by smoke that is black. Smoke that, for example, comes from burning something exceptional, such as rubber or some types of wood, I reckon. Again, smoke that has the color of soot, SOOT. And it just envelops in you, in the sense that it circles all around you and whatnot. Um, and yeah, like I said, that's pretty much his appearance, and he told me that he's responsible for corruption exactly the way I define it, and by its very definition, and that he's responsible for example, the corruption that kings and queens and politicians have showcased and showcase, which is also a necessary component of the world of existence, only for the establishments that they quote unquote rule over to be weakened, and subsequently potentially pave the way for a new establishment, a new order to rise. He doesn't belong to any angelic order such as dominions or powers or anything like that. Okay, he is freelance in a manner of speaking, similar to Enochian angels. Let me see, was there anything else? Oh yeah, as for his planetary and or zodiacal attributes, he's Jupiterian, and corresponds to the zodiac sign Pisces, 10 degrees in Pisces to be exact or precise. But what you need to know is that it's essentially the same way that Jupiter stands for upholding justice, law, and order in a specific context, like Kabbalistically, for example, the same way that Jupiter Cheset, yeah, deals with mercy and whatnot. With this guy, it's essentially an inverted Jupiterian thingy, Jupiterian attributes. So think of the opposite. The opposite of justice and order is chaos and disorder. Well, not literally. The opposite of justice in this context is corruption. So again, it all fits, obviously. And he also has a hint of Martian properties. But again, strong Pisces influence overall. You can secondarily use lunar correspondences, but Jupiterian is classically and conventionally heavily favored overall. The Martian influence, hold on briefly, let me just look it up again. The Martian influence represents, what did the Martian influence represent again? The Martian influence represents, it represents the ugliness, if you will, the fact that corruption is overall very unappealing, and it is immoral by society standards, obviously, despite the fact that it's a necessary evil. I'm not saying that corruption of any kind should ever be tolerated, obviously not, but I'm simply saying from an existential vantage point, obviously, like all other negative things in this world, it's warranted, its existence, because of the law as above, so below. Okay, the good cannot exist without the bad, and vice versa. They both fulfill each other and give meaning to one another. Yeah, no, it simply stands for the unappeal of corruption, and the fact that corruption will be brought to light sooner or later. And that is all. Bye bye.